MD sir, senior faculty members, and dear friends. In this episode of Book Talk, I am going to speak about a book, Alibaba, The House That Jack Ma Built. This book is written by Duncan Clark and published by Harper Collins Publishers. So this book basically is about Alibaba and his founder Jack Ma. So Alibaba basically is a company founded in 1999 which mainly provides e-commerce services, and it provides business to business, customer to customer, business to customer services. But before I come to this book, I'll just like to mention few things. Like first, we are now having this episode of Book Talk in 2021, but this book actually is a 2015 or 16 print, I think. So information that I will be sharing with you so that you can just understand the volume and the scale at which Alibaba actually is operating is slightly old. And second thing is this book basically speaks about this company Alibaba and founder Jack Ma. So when in a single book we are speaking about Alibaba, means the company and also the founder, so there will be sometimes difficult to align things in a certain chronology. Though when you will go through the book, that difficulty is not there. The author has very systematically placed things. But maybe when I am presenting it to you, there may be some issue with the chronology. And more than that, means I will not be completely presenting the story of Alibaba or the Jack Ma. But when I was going through the book, I realized that there are some interesting things appearing in that book. So basically, in these notes, I have just compiled those interesting things, and I will be sharing those things only with you. So, but before again coming to this Alibaba, the book, I just want to share some figures with you. So, this Alibaba company was started in 1999, and till 2009 they were able to only integrate 27,000 merchants, but 2015 47,000 merchants were integrated with this platform. As I mentioned, it is having different kind of platform under this umbrella Alibaba. One is business to customers, so for that you need to have registered customers, and also you need to have registered supplier manufacturers. So they are having more than 47,000 suppliers, and annually on 11th November, they have a single day sale. Like if you take example of Amazon or Flipkart, they are having annual sale, Republic Day sale, Independence sale, day sale. This Alibaba is also having that sale on 11th November, and 11th November 2015. They call it Double 11. In Chinese, they call it Song Shi. And on this day, 11th November 2015, just so that you have an idea that at which scale they actually are operating, 3 crore buyers bought product worth 14 billion US dollars. And it was 4 times. So 11th November, they have not just selected randomly, but their counterpart in US, they are also organizing a similar kind of sale on 11th November. So this volume was, if you compare the same year 2015, it was 4 times the volume that US portal registered. So just to give you an idea at which this Alibaba actually is operating, and it also emphasizes on consumption power. If you speak about United States, household spending drives 2/3 of the economy. But that's not the case when you speak about countries like China, or for that matter India. Because if you speak of countries like China or India, we prefer to save. It may be for retirement, it may be for health purposes, education of our kids. But just in contrast to that, if you speak of United States, 2/3 of the economy that is coming just from household spending. So another thing is, though, through these notes, you will also have some idea about how Alibaba evolved over 20 years. But Jack Ma, the founder, says that success of Alibaba is achieved just by accident. So because he was saying that he was having no money, no technology, no plan, but still they achieved success because of 3 factors, and he called them iron triangle. So the first angle actually is e-commerce as. So as I mentioned, Alibaba is the umbrella company, and under that there are different portals like Taobao and Tmall. So Alibaba through these portal means they are not maintaining any inventory. When you speak of some other e-commerce platform, you will find that they are maintaining inventory also. But Alibaba, whatever the platform you speak of, they are not maintaining any inventory. They are just providing a platform. So it's a platform that facilitates interaction of customer with the supplier. But otherwise, they are not maintaining any inventory. Second thing, they are also not charging any fee from both the parties, customer or the supplier. And how they are earning money then? Just by selling ad space. Just some numbers, like because at many point you will find that he has compared China with the US, because this e-commerce online things first was there in America, and from there only he was motivated and he started something similar in China. So he is saying that then more than 10% retail purchase in China are made online compared to 7% in US. 40% of the Chinese customer buy groceries online compared to 10% in US. Online retail grew at 50%, offline just 7% in China. And he says that one of the reason for this is that availability of land is very expensive, and also the government of policies don't support land purchase. So because of that, he says, so he actually is trying to relate all this with the ability of Jack Ma to see the future. That in China, these are some of the limitations, these are the policies of the government. So e-commerce actually is going to be the future. The second, he is saying about logistic angle. I am speaking about three angles. So first one was e-commerce, second one is logistic, because I mentioned about that 11th November 2015 sale. So if you have to deliver those kind of orders, you need 46 crore packages to deliver. For that, you need 17 lakh couriers and 4 lakh vehicles. At an average, one package is delivered for every person every week in China. This is just the scale at which Alibaba is operating. And so he is saying that logistic edge, it is one of the strengths of the Alibaba on which it achieved its success. And Alibaba subsequently, because when you are working in this kind of environment, logistic support is very important. So they, in partnership with some leading courier companies, they invested in China Smart Logistic. This group, China Smart Logistic, handles 3 crore packages daily. And when these different logistic companies are coming together, the advantage is in terms of data integration, efficiency improvement, and better customer service, because you are working with different partners, but those partners are integrated to some common platform. And third one is financial angle. He says that when you are operating in this kind of environment, it's very important to make some convenient mean of payment. So they introduced Alipay just to take care of the. So he says that though it is mostly by accident, because I was not having any plan, no money, nothing of that kind, but still we were able to achieve success because we were having these three things: e-commerce edge, logistic edge, and then of course this payment edge. The author also speaks about Jack Ma. He says that Jack Ma is a great speaker. He has that ability to charm people. He has that ability to influence others. And that's why he says he is a man of quotations. So one of the quotations, say for example, is believe in your dream and believe in yourself. Learn from others the tactics and the skills, but don't change your dream. Be focused. He has also given one example just to make this thing of being focused clear, that if there are 9 rabbits on the ground, if you want to catch one, just focus on one. Change your tactics if you need to, but don't change the rabbit. Get one first, put it in your pocket, and go for the next. So he is saying that just be focused. In that process of achieving that, you may change your tactics or whatever you want to do, but just be focused what you want to achieve. Then another thing is that he is very clear. Means if you speak about Jack Ma, he is very clear about the priorities. Because when you speak of a platform like this, different players are involved. Like customers are involved, employees are involved, shareholders are involved. So he says For me, customers are first, employees are second, and then will come the shareholder. So, in fact, they are also having initiatives just to support the employees, like they provide interest-free loan of up to 50,000 to its employee, and it is about 2014-15.
He will never leave his company actually. But because they have to repay.
That's also a strategy. Many times these companies will come up with this kind of plan just to retain the employees. Yeah. And then he says that Jack Ma was fond of English and literature right from childhood. As one point in this book, he has mentioned that because he is having a very moderate background, he was not having anybody to speak in English. So he will take his cycle, go some 10-15 kilometers to a central place where hotels are there, foreigners are coming just to chit chat with them, speak with them, practice English. So, I was mentioning about it means Alibaba. That group started in 1999. But before that, also he experimented with some ventures like Hope Translation, China Pages. But China Pages was not a big success. And Jack Ma feels that it was not a big success because it was just a directory. It was listing of products for sale. There was no way for the customers to make purchase online. That's why. And one more thing he has mentioned here that subsequently this China pages were taken over by some company, and in the process of that 70% is stake of this China pages went to that new company which took over this China pages. So now practically he was not having any control, though he was the general manager or you can say CEO, but he was not having any control. So what he says that I have never had a controlling share in Alibaba. I am the CEO of company because I lead it with my wisdom, courage, and resourcefulness and not capital. So because he was not having the controlling stake, but he is CEO because he was able to influence the entire environment because of all these things. And taking lessons from this means, as I mentioned, that he experimented with this Hope Translation, China Pages, but these initiatives were not means to the level which he was expecting. And from these, what you can say, failure, based on the learning from this failure, in 1999 he actually started this Alibaba. Some more numbers actually. When Alibaba was started in 1999, China had 2 million investor users. By 2000, it was 17 million. By 2002, it was 27 million users. And also, initially, computer was not very cheaply available in China, but subsequently, with the introduction of companies like Dell and some government policies like informalization, internet become more affordable. Young people were coming online. So the thing again means he was able to foresee this, that policies of the government is young people are coming online, internet users are increasing, there is a scope for e-commerce, and that's why initial on this Alibaba was a business to business model. Subsequently he realized that business to business will be a struggle, but if we take it from business to customer, it will be relatively easy to get more players registered. So in 2003, under the same umbrella, they started Taobao. That basically is the platform to integrate customer with supplier. And again, as I mentioned, that they are charging no fee either from the customer or the merchant. And within 6 months, because when you are having a platform like Taobao, you need logistic support, you need financial support to facilitate the transaction. So within 6 months of introduction of Taobao, they introduced or launched this Alipay to facilitate this interaction. Now, during the same time, when in 2003 Alibaba was diversifying towards Taobao, another competitor was eBay. So, just to counter the strategies taken by Alibaba, eBay announced an investment of 100 million US dollar, to which Jack Ma had said, if you use money to solve problems, why on earth would the world need business anymore? Businessmen understand how to use the smallest resources to expand. Power of capital is enormous. Capital does what its power, but the real power is power of people controlling the capital. So at one point, where eBay was just to counter the strategies of Alibaba, was thinking about investment. He was having some other plan in his mind. He also said one thing, that raise money when you don't need it. When you need it, don't go out to raise money. It is already too late. So that's what is the kind of understanding. In fact, at different point, if you will go through the book, you will find that author has emphasized that he is having a very good understanding about the environment, about the kind of future you are going to have, and also the people he is interacting with, people he is working with, and that is what the strength of Jack Ma is. The kind of passion that he brings into this kind of thing actually is the force with which he actually is propelling. So he says that nobody knows the future, you can only create the future. And now, if you speak about the future of the Jack Ma, so now different companies are coming. At one point of time, it was at peak, but now different companies are coming. So there is competition for Alibaba. Then the equation between government and Jack Ma is not again very smooth. So that again is a point of struggle. But is still the author of this book, this Duncan Clark, he feels that still he will be able to survive because he is having that pragmatic approach. And he says that initially he was thinking that this institution should survive 100 years, but now in place of 100, he feels that it should survive 101 year, because that way he will be able to touch 3 centuries. It was established in 1999. So 1 to 3 centuries, if they are able to survive 101 year. So this was actually briefly, that's what I started with. If you will go through the book, you will find it very interesting. If you are a management student, so many learnings are there, but it's slightly difficult to present the book in the same order in which the author has narrated in this book. But few things that I will just conclude this book talk with is, first is you have to be very clear what your priorities are. Like at every point, he is very clear about his priorities. Say, for example, at one point, he has mentioned that if I am competition in with a company like eBay, I cannot probably, because they have that muscle power, I cannot compete with them now. But maybe I can compete with them 2 years from now, 3 years from now. So accordingly, I have to plan. I cannot compete with them now. My plan should be that I'll 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'll compete with them. The second thing is learning from the failure. Many times we will read stories that there is a businessman, he achieved success after 4 failures, 5 failures, 6 failures. But in this book, when you will go through this book, you will realize that when you fail and you get discouraged, then possibility of success is very, very limited. But when you fail and learn something out of it, so first failure, he learned something. He did not repeat the mistake in second. Second failure, he learned something and he did not repeat the same thing. And that's why when he started with Alibaba, he was able to achieve the success. Because he was, with every previous failure, he was able to eliminate something with Alibaba. And yeah, as I mentioned, that always plan about the future means you have to be very practical in your approach. What way you actually can counter your competitors, whether you can counter with money, you can counter with your strategy plan, you can counter them today or you can counter them tomorrow. So this was briefly about this book. When you will go through it, it is reasonably means interesting book to go through. And as I mentioned, particularly if you are a management student, because when you are a management student, I think attitude plays an important role. So that attitude you can learn from this book when you will read about the growth of Alibaba and particularly about the Jack, the founder of that company. Thank you.